She's new up here, but in Washington, Elise Stefanik made a name trying to privatize Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Aaron Wolf, and I approve this message.
Welcome to a WPTZ Channel 5 special presentation. WPTZ presents the New York 21st Congressional District Debate, live from the SUNY Valcor Conference Center.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm WPTZ's George Mallet, and I'm joined by Stephanie Gorin and Stuart Ledbetter. I do want to take a moment and thank SUNY Plattsburgh for providing us with this great venue for tonight's debate. I also want to take a moment and thank all of our candidates who are here tonight. That is Aaron Wolf, Elise Stefanik, and Matt Funicello. They're here to help us defend democracy, and we sure appreciate it. We've got a lot of topics to get to tonight, and we're going to get right to it with opening statements, and we begin with Elise Stefanik.
Thank you much to WPTZ for the opportunity to participate in tonight's debate. I also want to take a moment to thank Congressman Bill Owens. While Congressman Owens and I may disagree on certain issues, I commend Congressman Owens for his bipartisanship, his constituent services, and his public service representing this district. For the viewers watching tonight, my name is Elise Stefanik, and I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in upstate New York. And I grew up in a small business family where I learned how challenging it is to create jobs in today's economy. I was the first member of my immediate family to have the opportunity to graduate from college, and I worked for 6 years on common sense public policy in Washington. I chose to move home to the North Country to help my family's small business grow, and last August, I announced my candidacy for Congress. I'm running for Congress because Washington is broken, and it is clear that we desperately need new ideas and a new generation of common sense bipartisan leadership to focus on creating jobs and helping our North Country economy grow, to stand up for our North Country farmers, to protect our constitutional liberties, especially our Second Amendment rights, and to fight on behalf of our servicemen and women and veterans. I'm excited to be here today, and I thank my opponents for joining us.
And now let's have Matt Funicello make his opening statement.
Thank you very much. Thank you, WPTZ. Thank you, fellow candidates. My name is Matt Funicello. I'm running for Congress as a Green. I was born in Wilton, which is in District 21. I was raised here and also in Ottawa, Ontario. Came back to live permanently when I was 19 years old. Started a business with my brother that is in the district. I actually work with one of my brothers who is still with me at the bakery that we run. Basically, my entire family lives, works, plays, hunts inside this district. I'm native, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Essentially, I have been an employer for about 20 years. I employ 35 people at this point in time who also are members of the district. I am advocating for three very simple things, and that is single-payer health care. We already pay for health care in this country with public money. Why don't we have it in the working class and middle class? I am advocating a higher minimum wage of $15 an hour. If we elevate workers, we can fix my third issue, which is corporate welfare, which is we will not pay the subsidized payroll of Walmart and McDonald's. Thank you.
And we've got one more candidate, Aaron Wolf.
Thank you, George, and thank you to WPTZ, and thank you again to my fellow candidates. It's a great pleasure to defend democracy with you both. My name is Aaron Wolf, and it's an incredible honor to be here. I have had a home in Elizabethtown, New York since 1968. Over the years, I've helped build trails in the area. I've served on community and conservation boards. I've helped sell and distribute the products of local farmers. I've produced and edited my films from Elizabethtown. And I've also proudly worked with both Republicans and Democrats to help save last year 10 small-town movie theaters. It's the kind of bipartisan effort that I think characterizes this district and characterizes my view of the world. It's also something that I think Congressman Bill Owens would be incredibly proud of, and he and I are kindred spirits, and I think we about how to work across the aisle. That's why I'm so proud to have Bill Owens' endorsement. I think to fix the dysfunction in Washington, we are going to need that kind of spirit. Shared responsibility, community values, and hard work. The very things that I learned growing up in the North Country. Good time here.
Well, thank you all for your opening remarks. And now for the first round of questions. My fellow panelists and I are going to be asking these questions. All three candidates will get a chance to answer. They will each have 1 minute to answer the question. And we're going to begin with jobs and a challenge. Clinton, Franklin, Jefferson, and St. Lawrence counties all have unemployment rates above the current national average. Can you give us at least 2 key things you want to do to grow jobs in the area? And I want to be very specific here. We want to hear what you will do, not why it's the president's fault, not why it's Congress's fault. Give us your ideas. Mr. Funicello, we will start with you.
I will essentially advocate for 2 things, and one of them will be a green jobs program. We will look at the need for energy independence and dependence on fossil fuel currently needs to be altered to renewable, sustainable energies. How are we going to do this without federal subsidy? And the answer is we're not. So we need to have a voice in Congress that is actually going to stand up and say, we have people who are unemployed in the Adirondack Park and in Congressional District 21. Why are they not making photovoltaics and small manufacturing? Why are we not rebuilding wind farms and solar infrastructure and hydropower within the Adirondack Park? The second thing that I will do is I will elevate workers. I've already said that in my opening statement. I'm advocating for a $15 living wage, and what that leads to is wage-led growth, which means small businesses will prosper because workers who live in their communities have jobs and health care and are able to spend that money right away where they live. That benefits and it allows small business to hire more workers. We're the biggest employer in the United States of America.
Elise Stefanik, same question.
Jobs in the economy is overwhelmingly the top priority as I talk to voters all across this district. It has become clear that President Obama's economic policies have failed, and I do want to put forth common sense solutions to encourage job growth right here in the North Country. One way we can do that is by pursuing fundamental tax reform. Small businesses and hardworking families are paying too much in taxes. I support throwing out the tax code and starting from scratch to build a common sense tax reform that encourages small businesses to hire additional people, but also encourages hardworking families to save more of their money and invest in future generations. Another issue which is related to jobs in this district is health care costs. They're rising under the Obamacare, which was a partisan piece of legislation voted on by party lines. My family's small business had our health care coverage canceled as a result of Obamacare. This is a story I hear across the district. We need bipartisan health care reform to lower costs, improve quality, and increase accessibility, especially in our rural communities.
And Candidate Wolf.
Thank you very much. Indeed, jobs in the economy are the most important thing all of us can be focusing on. And I think there's some really promising things that we're seeing, especially in some of our heritage trades. We're seeing small-scale agriculture have a big revival here in the Champlain Valley. We're seeing forestry repurposed to provide feedstock for cutting-edge biofuels. So I really think that the emphasis on renewables is a good idea. We already lead the state in our consumption of renewable energy. We're producing 30% of New York State's renewable energy right now. But we do need to find incentives for doing that. And my opponent, Elise Stefanik, has come out against federal support for renewables. She says we don't want to pick winners, but she hasn't come out against subsidies for big oil companies. I think that may be because they're in part helping to finance her campaign. But these are things that we need to do right now, and we need to rebuild our infrastructure. I think it's essential that we have a revenue stream for doing that, and I'm the only candidate that's proposed how to raise the revenue to do that.
If I can, just to answer to the accusations from Aaron Wolf.
Is this going to be the way that we do this?
No, I think we're going to move on to our next question.
Sure.
Where? Yes.
If we could, there's been a lot of chatter and some television advertising, as our viewers have noticed, about the issue of carpetbagging in this race. And I'm wondering if we could clear this up once and for all. What community do you maintain your primary residence? And were you eligible to vote in this congressional district in the last election 2 years ago? And for that, let's start with Ms. Stefanik.
Willsboro, New York is where my residence is. My family's had a home there since I was 3 years old. I'm a proud resident. Upstate New York is part of my upbringing. I was born in St. Peter's Hospital in Albany County. I was eligible to vote in the 20th congressional district in the 2012 election.
Mr. Wolf.
My family's had a home in Elizabethtown, New York since 1968. Matt, in the last debate, talked about how, all of us have a right to be running for this office. All of us have a connection to the district. I thought it was magnanimous.
I was lying.
But I also think that he was wrong on some level, that it really does matter. These connections do matter. And, I'm proud to say, as I said in my opening, that I've been involved in numerous community efforts over the years. The things I most value about myself, I learned